DZRJ 810 AM, the voice of the Philippines, proudly brings you Equal Justice. Find out the hottest legal issues of the week and hear the analysis. And now, here are your hosts, Attorney Adele Tolentino.
We're taking account of what transpires.
Attorney Paul Sandalan.
Your concern,
And Attorney June Quicho.
right, of the country, and many tourist in the studio, of course, is our guest, friend, Attorney Tiki Tabuhara, the acting Secretary General of PROGUN Philippines, Peaceful, Responsible Ownership of guns.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
All right. And we have with us right now in second 30 minutes of our show, our handsome co-host.
Yes,
Yes, Attorney June Quicho.
you're starting it right, Adore. Good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon, Tiki. Thank you for gracing our show.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, and I was actually monitoring your discussion.
Yeah.
I was ready to ask Tiki. So with all those your objections to this IRR, what do you propose to do? I mean, probably the reason why the PNP has centralized the registration is because of some administrative limitations on its part. What would be is that an excuse? And what would be your proposal?
Well, the problem that I've been hearing lately is computerization. So, from what I understand, there's a problem with the software, the computers. But hey, I've been listening to this same problem since 1999, since Chief PNP was Panfilo Lacson. And it's early 2014. And all it takes for a computerization is a database or an Excel, a desktop, and a 2 terabyte hard disk and a secretary. That's all. Now, they have a staff of more than 100 in the PNP, Firearms and Explosives Office. So I'm just wondering what's taking so long, if that is indeed the issue, which leads us to believe that may not just be the issue, that there are other issues.
And these are
Well,
your guesses.
restrictive policies may have different reasons for being imposed, but again, I cannot speculate, no. But all I'm just saying is that we are at the receiving end of this problem, and we can only just hope that they fix the problem as soon as possible, because it's really a common sense problem that can be solved really with a snap of a finger.
Yeah, definitely you're saying that a centralized registration is not the way to do it. What is it then? Like, would you put it up in Tawi-Tawi, for instance? Or what?
Prior to the centralization of firearms licensing, it was done on a regional basis, I understand. And in fact, this has sprouted or given rise to a lot of gun stores in the provinces, licensed gun dealers, who have set up shop in Iloilo, in Cagayan de Oro, Davao, and all these other provinces. But lately, because of the centralization of the gun licensing process, all these stores have sadly closed.
Oh,
No, and out of the 5,000 or so employees in the firearms industry, about half have been laid off since 2014 January.
in other words, not changing the system wouldn't have hurt.
Yes, because I understand that when the new law, RA 10591, was passed in May of 2013, the PNP asked for a 5-year transition period within which to come up with the necessary equipment, the systems. But apparently, what they're trying to do right now is to reinvent the wheel at this stage in time when they do not yet have the proper systems in place. So nothing is moving. That's our problem. Now, we cannot wait also forever, because as we speak, every week, hundreds of gun licenses are expiring. And that automatically makes the holders thereof as criminals, because an expired gun license, as we know, is illegal possession of firearms.
Exactly.
So now, we cannot afford to wait. No, we've been waiting for about 7 months for this to clear up, and yet it's not moving. So we were compelled to file the Supreme Court case in order to compel the PNP to come up with its licensing system, if necessary under the old system, temporarily manual, before the computers can be set up.
Now, that's a very serious thing, Tiki. Is there an automatic across the board extension of these expiring firearms?
No, that is why when we filed our petition for contempt 2 weeks ago against the GPNP General Purisima, and all the firearms and explosives officials, I think there were 5 of them, we also included a twin motion. A motion for the Supreme Court to declare that the expiration date of all licenses
Should
be suspended as of April 10, 2013 when the TRO was issued, pending the compliance by the PNP
Right.
of the licensing process.
So in effect, the expiry date it extended indefinitely until that issue is resolved.
Well, due to the non-compliance of the PNP, we are praying or requesting the Supreme Court to suspend all expirations of all
Yes,
gun
yes.
licenses until such time that the PNP will continue licensing
Right,
renewal.
Has there been any action on the part of the Supreme Court to facilitate the finding of an answer?
Well, the reason why we're not pushing
Mhm.
is because the temporary restraining order, which was issued in our favor, granted all the reliefs that we prayed for.
I see.
So essentially,
Uh-huh.
the longer it takes, the worse for the respondents because
Uh-huh.
the TRO is enforced until further
Yes.
orders. So we're not pushing for their answer, but if they would file it soon enough, then we would gladly want it. Plus, as mentioned by Attorney Ador earlier, since this is a very novel issue in the Philippine legal system, it's a first of its issue. We would welcome that the Supreme Court would allow or order an oral argument on this matter.
And we will hear we will air the argumentation of Attorney Tiki Tabuhara in the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Right.
And the funny thing is that, Attorney June, is that, instead of an oral argument, what we had is an oral rally before the Supreme Court, which is already on YouTube. The title is PROGUN Files Contempt, which basically showed a video of our rally before the Supreme Court to call upon...
Are you also acting as the counsel of PROGUN Philippines?
Yes, I'm the lead counsel and we have other supporters.
Yeah. Well, let's just take a look at the network, the social networking side of your campaign. How do you assess the way people are reacting to your call? Because I'm asking this, Tiki, because I know that there is a very strong clamor also for banning of gun ownership in the Philippines.
We are cognizant of the other side.
Yes.
Actually, it's not the other side, but we're on the same side.
Mhm.
PROGUN is against crime, anti-crime. We don't like riding in tandem. We don't like the loose proliferation of legal firearms. We don't want terrorism, and we don't like political assassinations or high-profile killings. In fact,
Or killings of judges too.
we have been very vocal.
Right.
We have been very vocal among PROGUN to denounce these acts of criminals. No? But like I said, by and large, 99.9% of these crimes involving firearms are committed by criminals and terrorists wielding loose or unregistered firearms. So the resources or the limited resources that the PNP has or the law enforcement to go after all these criminals should be focused on the problem,
Right.
which are criminals and loose firearms.
Mhm.
Now, what is happening is that they're going the opposite direction. They're going after the 1%. So licensed gun owners are being
Can you
given a hard
please
time.
hear?
Maybe the logic, maybe the logic here, Tiki. I'm trying to analyze why the PNP, is imposing this kind of very strict requirements. Maybe the logic here is for the responsible gun owners, they would have the patience to go through it, and and they are the ones who can likely comply.
And besides, they're the
for
only
a
ones
valid-
known to the PNP.
Exactly.
Well, at least theoretically speaking, because they are drivers.
The unlawful gun owners right now, they wouldn't come out, so it would be easier for them to weed out.
Well,
Maybe that's how they want you to understand their point.
to the New Year, no? Sa New Year dati, ang dami namamatay, no? During New
Right,
Year.
right,
Stray bullets.
right.
Now, if you look at the statistics now, 10 people, 9 people of stray bullets, and most of them came from security guards or PNP or soldiers themselves.
Or PNP
So
themselves.
now, you can see the effect, no? Dati, hundreds, no? Noong 80s, 90s.
Right.
And we credit that with our education program every New Year, that please do not fire your guns, be responsible. And true enough, this is the result, the good result of our work.
That's good to hear. Meantime, let's hold our horses, gentlemen, as we pause again for another break in our studio.